funny enough, I've never been in love.
Oh.
I keep looking at all the cameras like...
Can I say it one more time?
Like it's a live studio audience.
Hello, everybody. It's Katie Austin here, and welcome back to Austin AF. So today, I'm really excited because I have actually two guests coming in, but they are as one. I am about to welcome in Sistine and Sophia Stallone, and I'm so freaking happy because they actually share kind of like a studio space with me. So they're actually just literally right after this wall. They have their own talk show. If you guys are just listening on a podcast, we actually have the same wall that we share. They actually just signed to the production studio I'm signed with called Malka. So I want to kind of enter them into the Malka family. They host their own show called Unwaxed. I actually was a guest on their show back in June. So that was really fun. And that's how I was first introduced to them. I obviously was in the same sorority as Sophia and I've known her, but at the same time, introduced to Sistine and getting to know them has been so great. So I'm so excited for them to come in and we're going to talk a lot about what it's like to grow up with a famous dad because I grew up with a famous mom, but it's nothing on like their level whatsoever. And then I also want to talk to them a lot about their dating life and just what they're up to right now and living in Los Angeles together. So before I welcome them into the Austin AF studio, I wanted to kind of talk about something a little bit more serious today, but something that I think is like really relevant in today's time because first up, it really sparked me when I watched the new D'Amelio show last week. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it. Charli D'Amelio and Dixie D'Amelio, hopefully I'm saying their last name right. They actually just came out with a new show on Hulu. And first up, I thought it was going to be just like a reality show, kind of like in their life and whatever. But it's actually like more, I would say, a docuseries and really educational, if that makes sense. It really shows an amazing side to them and how hard they work and how young they are and how their overnight success has really taken a toll on their mental health as well, especially Dixie. I think it's really great, even if you're not in the influencer space or the creator space or know nothing about TikTok, but to take a look at what social media can do to you. And I know they have, over maybe 35 million Instagram followers and over 100 million Charli has on TikTok, which is wildly insane. I can't even imagine those types of numbers as someone her age. I think she just turned 17, so she was 15, 16 when all her rise to fame came about, and Dixie's only 19. Like, that is so freaking young. And when I was watching the series, especially episode 1 and 2, Dixie was crying about people writing hate comments to her, and I know I'm not on their level whatsoever, but it resonated a shit ton with me because I last week actually went viral like 2 times-ish on TikTok. And recently TikTok has really been evil comments. People are so mean on TikTok, you guys. It used to be a place, like what I personally thought. TikTok about a year and a half ago, when I really first started it, it was all nice comments. Everyone was so nice. Everyone's like, you're so pretty. Oh my God, you're so funny. Now, it is literally, I got a comment today that's like, you do the devil's content. I'm like, okay, whoa, relax. So last week when I was watching this show, it's so funny because the night before I watched the D'Amelio show about the mean hate comments online that they got. The night before, I had 221 comments under one girl's comment. So not even just like, it was a thread of 221 comments arguing if I was pretty or not. And I read all 221 comments. And I did this before bed. And let me tell you, it did not make me feel good at all. I actually had to wake my boyfriend up. I was reading them as he was asleep next to me, which was something I'd never suggest doing. If you are gonna read bad shit, don't read it at night because you're just gonna think about it and not go to bed at night. It was really hard, I'm not gonna lie, because I wanna pretend and sit here like I'm the most confident girl and I don't have insecurities, but at the end of the day, reading comments, and trust me, I think I'm beautiful, and as you should too. If you're listening to this, you should think you're beautiful. And so I think when other people were arguing if I was pretty or not, it made me question myself and it made me doubt myself, oh shit, they're right. And they really pointed out every insecurity about me. I had a hard time reading through these comments. I'm not gonna lie, because especially if you read a comment, one girl was like, well, I wrote back actually one time. I said, ouch sis, that one hurt or something. And she's like, yeah, well, sorry, I just really don't find you pretty. And isn't it great we all can find other people attractive in this world and all have our own opinions, with a little winky face like a stupid little biatch. And that comment alone, telling me I'm not pretty, got over like 120 likes. So that means not only people were commenting that I wasn't pretty 221 times maybe, but also liking comments where I was ugly. So that one hurt for sure. Fast forward to yesterday, actually, I had a video that went viral again on TikTok. People are telling me I'm the most annoying person in the world. People are telling me they don't know how my boyfriend's with me. They also think that I'm a joke. They comment all the time. Like I said, also the devil's content, blah, blah, blah. Though some of them are like kind of funny, to be honest. But at the same time, like, yes, I'm not going to sit here and say those types of comments where I'm ugly, annoying, I'm a do-nothing bitch, don't get to me. Because they do get to me sometimes. You have to catch my mood for sure, I will say that. But if I'm having a little bit of an ounce of a bad day and I read 10 bad comments, of course I'm going to think about it for a hot second. Even if you don't have followers online and, you know, you're not in this world of being an influencer, we all get hate comments and we all have people talking shit about us. Let's be real. And we can hear some rumors about us and it doesn't feel good. It feels really, really icky. I want to reiterate this because again, it's so cliche, you've heard it a million times, but what someone says about you says more about them. It speaks volumes of their insecurity. Okay, so just remember that at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with how sad and insecure they are if they're making a rude comment to you that is out of left field. If someone is commenting or saying, oh my God, that girl's not even pretty. Dude, she's insecure. The one person saying that is the one who is insecure. And I always say, don't give a shit what others think about you. But like, we're human. Of course we care what other people think about us. Like it does get to us. I'm like, come on now. So what can we do to not care so much about what other people think? I personally think it is an affirmation, first off. You have to say to yourself, I don't care what this person thinks. I don't care what that person thinks. It doesn't matter. I'm me. I know who I am. What their opinion does not matter, blah, blah, blah. They're not perfect either. An affirmation to yourself, constantly reminding yourself that you don't care about others, people's opinions, and reminding yourself who you are, that you know yourself really well. You are you, and that's all that matters. Number two, you are not for everyone. And that's just the matter of fact. I can know clearly on TikTok, I am definitely not for everyone. I am not going to be pretty to everyone. I'm not going to be funny to everyone. I'm going to be annoying to a lot of people. But that's okay, because you know what? What is that saying that's so freaking lame, but it's so true? You could be the ripest peach, but not everyone likes peaches. And think about it. It's really, really true. So, I mean, the world is so, so big, and just know that, like, of course you can't please everyone. I'm such a people pleaser. And so sometimes it's like hard for me to realize that I can't please everyone. But at the end of the day, if that person doesn't know me personally, so if that person says a hate comment about me and has never met me in real life and would not say that to my face, then I have to brush it under the rug, because their opinion clearly does not matter. And I think if I sit in a room one-on-one with the girl who literally said I was the ugliest girl ever, I want to just ask her, like, are you good? What's up with your life? Because there's no way she would actually say that to my face. And I know that. I believe in humanity that much. So if you are the type of person that comments hate things or mean things on others' profiles or accounts, I want to just say, why? Please check yourself. I think you might be part sociopath. I don't think I would ever comment something hateful on someone I don't know's account. So please, please, please just rethink what you're saying. We're all human out there, and just spread kindness, please, because it does get to the people that you think it won't even. I mean, even someone like Charli D'Amelio has over 100 million followers, and you're like, how the hell does she read all those comments? She can see it. She can see it. So take that into account next time. Spread kindness, positivity, happiness, and try not to give so much about what other people think of you, because you are you, and that is your power. On that note, I am going to have Sistine and Sophia Stallone come in the studio. All right, you guys, look who's in studio. We have Sophia, Sistine. I am so freaking excited, you guys.
We are so excited. I mean, the last time we did anything podcast-wise with you was over Zoom, and it was during the pandemic.
I know. And I've never met you in person.
I know. Already friends, you guys.
Already friends. I feel like I know you. But we actually, me and Sophia were in the same sorority at USC.
Fight on, baby.
And ITV. We were at DG's together.
I can do it too.
The most sorority girls will meet.
What is it? And fun fact, if y'all are just listening in a podcast, not watching on YouTube, right behind me is a wall that we share to a studio. So we actually have the same production company, and I just wanted to welcome you into the Malka family with episode 50.
Cutest neighbor ever.
Thank you. Of your Unwaxed podcast. So we have some VOO right here. We're going to pop the champagne. I really don't hope I don't fuck up these cameras or anything. I'm like, shit.
Don't ask me to do it.
You got it.
I'm scared.
I can't.
Why am I always cringing when I...
Nearly flew off the stool.
I know. So we're going to pour some champagne.
You're so sweet. What a good host, Sophie. We need to do this.
I know.
Here you
Wait,
go.
did you?
I'll pour more of that.
We usually bring tequila for our guests whenever they come in studio.
And we forgot today.
Did you forget it?
That's awesome.
Well,
we're so good at this.
50 episodes in, we still don't know how to do our job.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
You honestly do a great pour.
Okay.
Yeah,
you need some more than that. You need some more than that.
I know, after the day she's had.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, cheers to you guys at Malka.
thank you.
Unwaxed, Austin AF collabing right here.
Wow.
Honestly, this is really nice.
I
What
know.
time is it? Noon?
I feel
Perfect.
like very French of us just to drink champagne as we talk.
As I take
Very
a second sip.
fancy right here. And you guys actually just had your dad on your
Yeah.
show. How was that?
Terrifying.
Horrifying. Nerve-wracking.
We really wanted to have him on for so long, but we, didn't feel comfortable with how we were podcasting and interviewing in the beginning. With everything, it takes practice. And we thought, okay, if we're having Sly on, it's got to be perfect. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Malka made it perfect with the studio, and it kind of was the perfect storm, but it was terrifying.
Like, do you ever feel like when your mom comes into your studio or she sees what you're doing and she's like, wait, I didn't realize how much of
Yeah.
a production this is. Like, you did this on your own. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of
It's
the point
true.
we wanted to hit before we had him come on. We really wanted him to come and say, wait, this is what you've been doing for the past year, and you've built
I
like
really
this.
think that they just thought we were leaving the house for a few hours.
Yeah,
a couple times a week.
give 'em something
they
to
had no
do.
idea what we sort of created with the show. So it
Yeah.
was really cool
Wow.
for my mom. She sat there too. So
And you guys talk a lot about dating and boys and stuff. Does your dad listen to your podcast?
So he used to listen. He listened to the first one, which was like how to break up with a guy, whatever. And that was fine. The second episode was how to be a fuckboy. So from then on out, he stopped listening. And so I don't even think he's heard one since. I think he hears our clips and things and stuff.
but he'll
not
definitely be listening
involved.
to his.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember when my dad started watching my podcast stuff and listening and stuff, and I would talk about my last podcast. I would talk all about hooking up with guys, and he would learn so much. My dad's so chill; he doesn't care at all. But he would learn so much about my life because I'm not gonna tell my
Yeah, of
parents that
course.
stuff. And I would hop in the car on the way to he would take me to the airport, and he'd be like, "So how was so and so?"
No.
Stop it.
No, I'm cringing. I'm cringing. Please don't
So
say
my
this.
dad doesn't do that. He just all he knows about our dating life is if we ever need to end something with someone, he formulates the text.
Whoa.
Yeah, he honestly is a savant when it comes to breaking up with millennials.
It's kind of freaky.
He really
Okay.
knows, because you know what he always
with
says? He goes,
guys.
I know how a man thinks, and you can't lead them on, and you got to be straightforward. And Sophia and I add a lot of fluff when we're breaking up because
Yeah.
we feel bad.
That'd be nice.
But the straightforward always works.
Yeah.
It always works.
Could you imagine if they knew that your dad was sending that text?
Oh, I think they would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it'd be the worst type of breakup they'd ever experience. Like, not just us, we had to go to our dad to break up with you. I don't really know how someone would feel like, oh, I got dumped by Rambo, not.
Well, the problem is we expose ourselves a lot. I don't know if you mentioned names of guys and your experiences with them.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
See, that's brave.
That's brave
because
because we don't.
Sophia and I always talk about exes and we make up names, but then they always know because they listen.
Oh, yeah, and the scenario is the same as theirs.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and the timeline makes sense. So lately we've been saying, oh, my dad broke up with you, and then that'll come back saying, did your dad really send that text to break up with me? And I was like, yeah. Like, we're really exposing ourselves out
are.
here with the podcast.
I mean, I feel like how many guys, actually, I think every single guy we've talked to or talked about on the show has come back around saying, oh, we wouldn't listen to the show. And all of a sudden they're like, wait, was that me you were mentioning on that date?
Okay, a little vain of of them.
A little bit. I mean, they just assumed first and
Yeah,
foremost.
what the heck?
But they are assuming correctly.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of just, I mean, I
At
feel
least
like
subscribe if you're gonna listen.
but you know what's been
Maybe tweet
great?
about it.
I
Please,
remember
my
I had a
God.
guy I went on a date with, and he was just not giving me anything. Like, guys, if you're out there dating a girl, like, put in the effort, show her some, like, conversation, whatever. And he wasn't doing any of that. And I said that on the show. I was like, this guy I'm seeing, he just puts in zero effort, and it's just so annoying.
Is this the guy called the bowl of oatmeal?
Yes, the
Yeah.
bowl of oatmeal.
Oh, that's a
Made
horrible
with just
nickname.
water.
We'll explain our theory
God,
on
that
that one.
sucks.
We have a bowl of oatmeal theory that actually Sistine formulated. But he
you.
texted me that night and wrote this giant paragraph saying, I'm so sorry I didn't put in the effort. I'll do more. I'll do better. I felt horrible, but I also was like, this is the best way to tell a guy exactly
Yes.
how you're feeling without having to tell them how you're feeling
And
to their
hopefully
face.
they learn their lesson as
Yeah.
well. Like, hopefully you're actually teaching them something.
But I don't know if that's worse or my situation's worse. I'm talking to a guy and he told me the other day, he
my
goes,
gosh.
look, I don't listen to your podcast because you told me not to, but my mom heard your last episode.
no,
Yes,
no,
the last
No,
one.
no, it
Literally,
gets worse. It
gets
gets
worse.
worse. It gets worse.
You guys know exactly
It gets
which one
worse.
this is.
It was episode 49, which was just Sophia and I kind of shooting the shit, getting back into the groove of things. And I mentioned the erotica that I'm reading right now. And we got into detail. And it's not any, walk in the park erotica. I was talking about
How it has
how to clowns and knife play. But
blood play.
okay, it sounds so intense. The joke is that I'm not into that. But Sophia
that's good.
recommended it to me because it was so absurd. I thought we had to share. But anyway, she heard everything.
Well, and she talked about the
And she was
date, and she
thinking of
talked
it.
about like her like how it's going and stuff. And so we're just like, and this woman, super nice, but like very much, she's a little bit more like
yeah.
strict.
Stern.
and stern. And so hearing that, like, oh, my son's going out with someone that's reading
And I
about knife
cussed a
play.
lot. I mean, God.
She probably thought you were hilarious, though.
I hope she knows it's
I hope-
entertainment.
Yes,
not
yes. You're not
that
like for
crazy.
real.
I know,
about
we
it. It's a
always try to
podcast.
say that. We're always like, it's the entertainment industry. Some things we over dramatize. We'll
Yeah.
make fun of it and like
Of
just
course,
talk
of
about
course.
it.
I want to go back to your dad and dating wise.
Yeah.
Is he scary or is he nice to the guys that you date?
Okay, I like to say a 50-50. What did you say?
Yeah, he definitely is 50-50. He's not going to be super warm and welcoming when you
No.
first come through the door.
Actually
He'll
won't talk
maybe
to you.
give you a handshake and walk away. So then the guy's sitting there feeling super insecure the rest of the night. But, as you warm up to him and he just sees you there at the house more and more, he'll be like, oh, wait, you look really familiar. Like, he won't even remember the
Yeah.
guy's
No,
name.
yeah.
And then eventually he'll invite you to watch UFC with him. And then that's when you're
Honestly, he has a problem with saying our last boyfriend's name every time
No,
a new guy comes
no,
in. Oh,
no.
yeah.
No, you're lying.
I dated a guy for a year, actually, like the one that you probably know, and he kept calling him my high school boyfriend's name for like a year. And I would have to always
God.
correct him. I feel like my dad, when it's a stamp of approval, he'll say to the guy, you want to come in the bar and have a cigar?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
and
when
he
you
probably
won.
won't, by the way, he probably won't talk to you that entire time. But that just means he's okay with
You being around.
him.
He honestly,
Oh
if he
my
had it his
God.
way, we would never get married and never
Yeah.
date a guy. Like, he just thinks that
yeah.
all men are gonna hurt us, and he goes, "You're not dating anyone." So I know
So you're dating someone right now.
dating's loose.
Okay, talking to someone.
Talking to someone, yes.
Are you?
I have told Sistine this 100 times. I think I've never been more single in my entire life.
I love that.
Because I genuinely, like, normally it's either maybe I'm on a dating app, maybe I'm like texting someone. I'm straight up zero. Zero
Yeah,
for
but
zero.
can I call you out? Can I call you out?
Why?
Call her out.
When I was in quarantine for a year and a half, the phone never rang, and Sophia was dating like a madman. You were thriving. I was sat on the couch for a year and a half straight. Now Sophia's on this whole kick of, I give up. I'm not trying anymore. And I said, I don't think it's a bad thing to look and seek out a relationship and try for one.
I completely agree with you. But
Yeah.
I remember when I was on your guys' podcast on Wax, you guys were like, how do you find a guy? And I'm like, you guys are so young. You don't realize how young you are.
Yeah.
And me at 25, you just turned 25, right?
Yep.
So me at 25, I think it like hit me. I swear when
Yeah.
you turn 25, something like flips in your brain that's like,
Just turned 25?
I know exactly what I want, what I don't want. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
waste my fucking time. And being single is actually
Yes.
really good right now.
That's actually so funny you said that because I said to my mom the other day, I was like, I have this whole idea that I want to do with a relationship now, which is not casually date. I'm so over that. I'm like, I'm either going to focus on my work, and if the right guy, like the perfect guy comes along, then I will start dating.
Exactly.
And I've been saying this stupid TikTok manifestation thing every day. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will
Yes.
simply find me. I'm so sorry.
Wait,
I'm
say
like,
that one more time.
I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. And I've been saying it a lot. And I think a lot of things in my life have been coming up just because I haven't forced it. And so I'm just hoping that maybe I'll have a meet cute. I'll be at a coffee shop. If anyone wants to order the same coffee as me, and he's like,
what coffee shop will he be at?
I know, like the Starbucks.
No, go to a bookstore. If you meet Sophia at a bookstore, she'll propose to you.
Oh yeah, I will propose to you.
Yeah,
well, I think that's the beauty about getting older, dating. I'm 27, and you're 25 now. It's like, we know what we want, we know what we don't want, and we're not going to put in an insane amount of effort to really go after it, because if it works, it works. I've been in the talking stage with guys for 4 months, right? Literally 4 months. And me and my boyfriend started dating within 2-3 dates. So it's
wait,
when you know, I know, isn't that wild?
Wait, what? Wait, that's amazing.
She evaluating her relationship.
Now I'm counting how many dates I've been on. So did he ask you on the third date, do you want to be my girlfriend, or
no,
how was that conversation?
It was are we hooking up with other people? No, we both really like each other. And meanwhile, this man, my current boyfriend, has never had a girlfriend in his entire life.
What, really?
So this was really whoa for him. It wasn't a guy who dates a lot of girls, love bombing, you know what I mean? It was it was seriously just we knew that we were obsessed with each other, and within the third date. And so I think that's when you get older, you know when you know.
Well, we always said this on our show, that the difference between a boyfriend and dating someone to casually date you can feel it. And it's the comfortability. And it's when you go on this date, you don't even feel like you have to try. And I feel there's so many dates where Sistine and I always feel we're a pony. What was it we would say?
Show pony.
A show pony. We're trying to tell them exactly what we're doing, how great we are, trying to impress them.
Oh my God.
We leave the date almost exhausted. And so we realize the difference between that and a boyfriend is those times we've had a boyfriend, it's been just seamless. And you're we just know we work, and we don't want to find anyone else.
Right.
So I feel that's what maybe you're experiencing, but you've experienced. I mean, I'm trying to experience, but I think that people need to remember that it's the comfortability level you can feel with someone immediately is exactly something
agree.
to highlight.
I want to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
Do you find trouble with dating with so many Instagram followers and who your dad is?
I don't ever think it's been an issue for me. I mean, I never look at my Instagram and relationships now. I don't think some men have had the right intentions, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been on a date where a guy's brought a resume to the date before.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Trying for you to hand that resume to your dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there have been,
This story is so funny. Even how it's set up was hilarious.
I want to hear it.
Meet cute. I thought, we were at a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a Halloween party?
Mine was
70s
way
party?
my beginning was worse. It was two cute guys standing around a Halloween party, and Sistine thought one of them was cute.
I was giving him eyes severely. I was if these eyes don't pull you in, then I'm bad at what I do.
I thought the other one was cute, so I said, all right, Sistine, I'll go in, pull the other one. You go for the guy that you've been eyes staring at, whatever.
I'm making out with,
I'm making out for the past hour. And so we're having these conversations. She's popping off. I was having a great conversation with this guy. He was saying how he wants to show me around, all this stuff. Suddenly, I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's this really angry girl behind me. And she goes, "Who are you?" And I go, "I'm Sophia. Who are you?" And she goes, "I'm his fiance." Ooh. And he literally pulls. He goes, "Oh yeah, this is my fiance." And I was,
he goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
He did not say I forgot.
No, he didn't say I forgot. But
he was honestly taken aback that she was even at the party.
But that's not fair. That's when I don't understand why girls do that, because it's if I saw a girl talking to my boyfriend, I would just go up and be like, "Hi," all kind. It's don't be insecure in that situation.
I definitely was doing the arm touching, but I didn't know they had a girlfriend. I had a cup of cocktails. I was doing a little
flirting.
Cute, hi. And then I got mad just because of the fact that girls, if you see a scenario, don't get mad at the girl first.
No.
Yeah.
Come on. Assume that
he's not wearing a ring.
Exactly. He's the one that's standing around.
So while Sophia was tortured over there, I was getting the digits and I was feeling good. He was super cute. We go on a date 2 days later.
Oh my God.
And not even before drinks came out, he pulls out his resume and I was like, oh, what the hell?
How does he do it though?
Literally, he tucked it into his back, the back of his pants and pulled it out of his shirt.
And says what when he puts it down?
He goes, I've actually, I'm an actor and I'm a producer and I write. And I'm like, so you do it all? Wow. So cool.
Next boy in LA.
Literally. And I was like, he went to the bathroom halfway through the appetizers and I told the waiter to get the check.
Good for you,
I know.
dude. Holy shit, that's a boss move.
Oh,
By the
I
way.
wish I paid for the meal too. I wish I said, you know what, this one's on me, I'm out. Because at that point, I'm like, you know what, I don't want you to owe me anything. I don't want to owe you anything.
Yeah.
I should have just gotten the bill and left. But I got out of there real quick. And yeah, it was horrible. So back to your question though. Sophia and I don't date any sort of quote unquote famous people or people with a lot of followers.
Right.
Not
So
at
I
all.
don't think we've ever had that issue, besides that guy, where it's been like they've looked at us differently.
I think the only thing I would say is they are very intimidated of us before. Like I think
I would be too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, which
Yeah.
is fair because I mean, you look at our show, we're screaming about like dating and this and that
Yeah.
24/7, and then we have this name that is like probably the scariest name for guys. Like you just like that is the man like you don't want to mess
Yeah.
with, and so they assume that we're gonna come in hot, which we do. We're pretty loud on dates sometimes. I
Yeah.
feel like I kind of overtake the conversation mostly, but that's just the problem. Is like I feel like these guys don't take initiative, which is what I want because I want to be like a
But-
little girl at the end of the
Absolutely.
day.
But I
Like,
think sometimes, are you good at dating? Like a conversation on a date?
How many drinks we having? You know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
two
yeah.
in.
Two in.
I mean, me, I'm really good.
You're really
Yeah.
good. But you're like a
Yeah.
good talker.
I talk and I listen too. Like I follow up with a lot of questions.
See, that's something Sophia and I don't do.
No, that's not true.
Yes,
the guy
it
said
is. Sophia, I will tell you
See,
what.
do you remember the guy on the date told me after the end of the date? We didn't go out after this because he said to me that felt like an interview, and I was like, well.
Well, why are you interviewing him? That's my point. This guy I'm talking to now, I thought we're so many dates in, I'm going, why is he so shy with me still? Like, I want him to open up more. I want him to talk. And Sophia goes, Sistine, why don't you shut your pie hole and
Let him
listen?
talk.
You
I
guys
did get
just
that.
shutting my mouth. Who knew? He was so talkative.
Don't you wish sometimes that we could be mysterious girls?
I wish.
I
I
wish.
wear my heart on my sleeve. I feel like though guys say to me, they're like, I feel like I know you, but I don't know you at all. Because they're like, you talk a lot about
Yeah.
everything, but then you don't talk about your feelings, and so I have no idea what you're thinking, and that's
Yeah.
my problem. So they'll know my entire life story, but just like nothing underneath the surface because I don't want anyone to hurt me. So I feel like that's like my defense mechanism. So
sure.
poor guys.
Yeah,
She
I
wears her
feel
heart
you
on her
too.
sleeve mostly though.
I dive shallow headfirst into that pool of love.
So basically, when you say you wear your heart on your sleeve, like you can fall in love easily, or
Well, funny enough, I've never been in love.
oh,
I keep looking at all the cameras like
say it one more time.
like it's a live studio audience. No, I've never been in love, and I think that is pathetic for my age.
What? I don't think so at all. I think it's
Okay.
amazing.
Well, it's hard because my little sister was in love in high school. Sophia's been in a long-term relationship. She's been in love. And I was like, I want it. And it's so crazy because I think when I say I wear my heart on my sleeve, it means more I will put in a lot to the relationship,
Yeah.
but I don't really expect that back. I just want to help them, fix them. And I think
Well, maybe
chose
you wear your
people.
heart on your sleeve because you've never been in love, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
I was
true.
more closed off because I've been so heartbroken, like, twice in my life. So I was, like very skeptical, you know what I
Right,
mean? It was, like, the
right.
opposite of it.
So you're more like me where you don't give it as much, or do you
Yeah.
Did you with him though?
Before my boyfriend now, I was like
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say.
But I just knew me and my current boyfriend had like such a strong connection, and it was almost like, date 3, I knew I was in love with him. That sounds so
that's
crazy.
so-
But I literally was in love with him by the third date, you guys. Can I tell you something?
Yes, please.
I've never said this. I've never ever said this, and I'm really sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're listening.
Do it.
I accidentally
oh my God.
I accidentally told him I loved him while we were having sex for the first time.
Stop it! Did you? That's okay. That's actually sweet.
No, it's not,
okay.
Sophia.
Well, it's sweet, it's
horrible.
sweet. It's
So
sweet.
I literally,
It's sweet now.
The
It's
next day, I called up my guy friends, and my guy friends were there, and my girlfriends were around. Like, I called people up, and they're like, I'm so sorry, he's never gonna talk to you again.
Oh, no. Well.
Everyone told me he's never gonna talk to me again. And then he didn't text me for a full 24 hours. And I was like sweating in my boots, like literally like, oh, okay, ruin that one.
I
Sick,
would have a
cool.
cocktail an hour after that.
No, I was so paranoid and I was so nervous.
my God.
My
Well, that is
anxiety.
nerve-wracking.
Did he say it back to you?
No.
Wait,
Are you kidding?
I have a question.
Are you
then.
kidding?
What did he say now that you guys are dating, and you guys have probably brought that
Yeah.
conversation
Oh,
up?
we laugh hysterically.
What
about
did
it all
he
the
say
time.
that he thought about when you said it?
Well, we knew like I didn't actually mean it at the time. Like
Okay.
it wasn't
Yeah.
like it was just like in the moment type thing, like looking in his eyes or whatever. And he like, pulls back. He's like, "What?"
Did
Like,
you guys
no,
bring it
I
up
don't
the
know.
next time you hung out?
No, because I was so embarrassed. I actually had a pit in my stomach that I couldn't do it. And then I didn't bring it up until we started saying I love you in like real life.
Oh,
I was like, remember that one time? He was like, holy shit, I do. I never wanted to bring it up because I felt so bad for you.
Did you think that you, oh my God, he did not say that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you think do you think you really were in love with him at that time? Or do you think you were just like, you felt lovey because of the situation you were
exactly.
in? Yeah, like you're vulnerable, you really like this guy.
I've said this before though.
You're happy.
I've accidentally said a guy, like he made me laugh so hard, I was like, oh my God, I love you. But like, I say that to my girlfriends.
Right.
You don't know. I think I told you this before.
I said that to a guy
But
once
I usually
too,
say to
and
my girlfriends, like, dude, I love you. But then I remember I said that and I was like, no, not like that. Like,
You know what though? I don't
like,
think.
sorry.
I think it's not a bad thing. I think men take it and spin it, and they think that we're serious, and they think that we're crazy, right? And you say it. No, I think it's a sweet thing. If you heard that from a guy, you'd be like, oh, that's so nice, knowing he wasn't.
That's not,
It depends the level of. It depends.
I'm trying to blame men for this. Stop making us feel bad, guys.
I will say there's a difference between it being a very clear mistake and saying an actual I love you on the fourth date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So I think if you accidentally say I love you and you get so concerned, because I've accidentally said I love you saying bye to a guy that I was talking to for like 3 months, and it was like, again, really awkward, and I wanted him to know I didn't mean it. So like I brought it up again, and then it just made things more awkward. I think just like let it go.
Yeah.
let it go, forget it even happened. Because, people make mistakes. And also it's like, it's a moment of intense, emotional. It's just like, even sometimes you just slip it out because I say I love you to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Same.
If that ever happens, just like let it fly under the rug. And also, if the guy's mature enough, he'll let it fly under the rug
I feel
as well.
like a lot of
sweep
funny
it under the rug. What am I saying?
relationships
Fly under the rug.
fly right under that rug, like
I
Aladdin.
swear, is this making me drunk already?
Magic carpet ride.
You know
I think sometimes we're really hard on ourselves when we do silly things like that in a relationship, and it says something about the girl if you can laugh it off.
Agree.
When you embarrass yourself, laugh it off.
This also reminds me of when girls get too drunk around a guy that they really like. You know what I mean? If it's like the third or fourth date and you get really wasted by accident.
Yeah. My 2-drink minimum has hit every single time I've gone
Me
on a date.
too.
And I definitely am like, oh, this is just going to go downhill if I have another one. And I do. So
Is there, when you get too drunk and you like do something embarrassing and you're having like that anxiety the next day, do you guys text the guy saying sorry, or you laugh it off, or how would you guys play it off?
What did you do when you fell off the bar stool?
Thank you, Sistine.
Oh, tell the story, please do.
I've never told this.
Oh, she's never told this story. We're getting an exclusive.
embarrassing.
It's so
All right.
sweet. Sophia's nickname, by the way, when she drinks is Bambi because her feet just forget how to work.
Shut the fuck up.
So
That's
cute.
really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. So I was going out with this guy, and this was probably our third date. And we just get along so well. He's hilarious. I'm hilarious. Kidding. But we go to dinner and we have a cocktail, and I forgot to eat before that, and he was like, I'm not really that hungry. So I'm like, same. I don't know why I said that. And so I had like a cocktail there, and then we're like, let's go to a bar. I had another shot, another cocktail. I go to another place, another shot, another cocktail. My drink, I said again, is 2. I had probably like 4, 5, 6 at this point. Then we go to the last bar.
No.
Take a shot, and I'm about to sit on this bar stool, and when I say I completely missed the bar stool, like imagine these 2 stools. Like I hit the bottom, my dress flies back. I just am so embarrassed.
I
Like
didn't know it was that bad.
Oh my God! And the thing is, thankfully,
my
like
God.
when I drink, I am trying to be as sober as possible. Like I'm one of those people. Like I am focused. So when that happened, it sobered me up, and I was
hell yeah, it did.
so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God! And the guy was laughing, and I went home, and I literally woke up the next day like, Sistine's never gonna call me again. I looked so sloppy, and that's never how I am. Like I'm so more like.
And did he call you again?
He did.
Of
And then we went
course.
on like another few times. He's like, no, that was hilarious. Like you're totally fine.
That means, have you ever heard of Tinks's box theory?
No.
I say it sometimes. Well, okay, so Tinks was on my show. She's like a TikToker, and she was on Austin AF, I think like episode 15, so a little while back now. And she was talking about box theory. And basically box theory is by like the second or third date, sorry if I mess this up a little bit, but he'll know whether he wants to date you or he doesn't want to date you. And I believe that.
Oh, I believe it.
I feel like...
Oh yeah, I feel like that was the perfect instance of me completely messing up. And if he really just wanted to sleep with me, which is like what we didn't do, but if he just wanted to do it, he probably wouldn't put in as much effort. But I think he actually wanted to date me because we went out a bunch more times after that, and he just like let it go by. Like, oh, that was totally fine. Who cares? But I also think you gotta just own your mistake. Like,
be confident about it.
Yeah, because like I wish I was so much more going, you know what? If he gives me judgment for that, like, then I don't want to go out with him anymore.
Because think about how how you guys take it when a guy embarrasses himself on a date. Do you ever make him feel bad? You almost like laugh with him, be like, oh my God, it's totally fine. And then you make fun of yourself so he feels better.
If he's insecure after he does something like weird or goofy, then it is such a turnoff.
Yeah.
If he's like thinking about and like doubting himself, you know what I mean? It's
totally
such
agree.
a turnoff.
I totally
actually
agree.
wanted, going back to theories here, I want to hear about the oatmeal theory.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's so dumb. I hope it makes sense to someone out there.
Okay, explain it.
I said on our podcast, every guy is like a bowl of oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
So oatmeal can be flavored and made tons of different ways. Some guys are just porridge. You're like, ooh.
You can
Some
have it
guys-
every day, and it tastes
right, so-
good. It like gives you some
like,
satisfaction,
yeah.
but it gets bland after a
So
while.
what
you
I
know?
used for Sophia's guy, for example, is like, he is like oatmeal made with water. Like you can eat it every day, but you're not going to be satisfied every day. You know, you got to find a guy that'll put some almond butter in there, maybe some almond milk,
Take me to church
some
sometime.
cinnamon, some brown
Some
sugar.
raspberries, some
No,
blueberries.
that
Brown
make any
sugar?
sense.
Yeah, I think it does make
Well,
sense.
it was
I
kind
do.
of a joke. We're just like saying that to keep it going longer, you need to find a guy that has like all the qualities that you kind of want to keep
Yes,
yourself
the
satisfied.
toppings are the qualities.
Because if you just have the water and oats every day, you're just going to
no.
be wasting your time, and then you're just going to be
You're going to be dissatisfied.
Speaking of qualities, what are your 3 top qualities in a guy? Both of you, ready, go.
Has to be funny.
Okay.
Has to have good banter. Banter.
Talk shit to me.
A little bit
Mock
to
me
me.
just a little bit.
That's okay. I have
Yeah.
a dry sense of humor. I'm very sarcastic and dry. I need to get it back.
Yes.
And I think someone who is really, I'm really loyal, so hopefully someone that's really loyal as well. Haven't always experienced that, so it should be exciting one day. And just someone that's like giving, because I feel like I give a lot, so I'd like to get
I like
some.
that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like someone that is very loyal, that I never have to worry about. Like, he can go out with the guys, because I'm a person that, like, you can go out with who you want. Like, you have girlfriends, like, I don't care, but just be loyal. Someone that's funny. Like, that just is adventurous too and ambitious. I think those are huge things for me. I'm like,
yeah.
I need someone that
Ambitious.
wants to keep it
Spontaneous
going.
is a good
Yeah,
one,
but, like,
too.
I also want someone that is like, Sophia, get out of bed, let's go to Six Flags. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like, oh, Sophia, let's go to like Mexico today. Like, I don't know. I mean, that would be great if I can find that guy.
That'd be
But
dope.
that'd be great.
Let's hop on this private jet.
Yeah,
and
let's
go to
just
Mexico.
whip up all the money I have and just but like someone that just wants to keep doing more and like try
Yeah.
new things. And I think that's what makes life fun, is like when you can really experience all those firsts with
Yeah.
someone. And I feel like I always say like experiences are so much better than gifts. Like I would rather have a guy say, I don't want to buy you a necklace. I want to buy you. What was it that you want to do yoga with goats?
Oh,
Like-
whiskey tasting with goats.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can do that.
Interesting.
So something like
Wow.
that. Like I think those
Yeah.
are more fun than someone that does that.
I've actually never heard of that.
Also, someone
I'll
that
send you
has
the
something
link.
like ambitious going on.
I think ambition is like the hottest thing
Yeah.
a guy could have, truly.
too.
Besides being funny, obviously. I want to transition here just a little bit because dating, there's a lot to talk about with dating. But in the beginning of this episode, was talking about, I don't know if you guys watched the new D'Amelio show with like Dixie D'Amelio and Charlie D'Amelio
yeah,
and
a
how,
little
on
bit.
Hulu, and like how basically I watched it last week and it kind of like really resonated with me. Obviously, nowhere near hundreds of millions of followers, but how Dixie was crying because she was reading hate comments online about her.
Right.
And I recently have been getting so many hate comments on TikTok in
Really?
particular. I don't know why. I always get them on Instagram and YouTube, and I never really give a fuck. It's like every once in a while. On TikTok,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
She always says that.
I totally relate. I've always said that the hate comments on TikTok are so creatively written that they hurt in a different way.
Ooh,
Like,
that's exactly what it is.
I don't know what it is. These kids are like, they compare me to things and people, and the way that they write it is so witty and clever that I'm like, oh my God, now I'm only thinking about that. But I agree, there's a
know.
lot more
But I
hate
don't
on
think
TikTok
TikTok-
for some reason.
But I don't think TikTok realizes that because the most liked comment is the one that's the highest, so people are trying to find the hardest, meanest, funniest comment to make.
So they
there
get
you go.
likes.
So
Yeah.
they're all not. I wouldn't say they're like promoting something, like promoting hate. Like that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that I think sometimes the comments, like obviously some of the liked comments are nice, but the ones
Not
that get the
usually.
most liked are usually the ones that are the most hurtful.
Totally. And I was saying in the beginning, you're so right about that. That's something I never even thought of too. Last week I had a video that went viral, and it's deleted now because fuck that. I had 221 comments in a thread underneath one comment, and all the girls were arguing over if I was pretty or not.
Are you serious?
And I read it before bed, and I like couldn't sleep. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not pretty. Sucks. Like, whatever. And I was doubting myself. And obviously I woke up and I'm fucking fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm a very confident girl. I can handle myself. But do you guys ever let these comments get to you?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think if you say you don't, then that's just, you must be a superwoman.
Yeah.
Because Sophia and I have been dealing with, it's funny because you say you got hate from a lot of women. We get hate from like 90% men. And so since we were 13, we were getting called fat and just like these grown-ass men just calling us names and whores and skanks and uneducated and like on and on and on and on. And like, it's hard it's hard to ignore but we always say I've never left a comment section feeling better about myself. So it's the only way you can do it is to ignore, but it's almost like you go and you post and you like because you're getting that hit of endorphin. Like you like to see all the comments come in, and then of course you're gonna see the ones that hurt your feelings, and it just brings you right back down. It's like an endless cycle.
I think also the worst part is when they compare all of us together, like who's the hottest, who's the middle, who's the others, and they do that a lot. Like I think that's one of the most.
Well, we get that in person.
That's horrible.
We get that a lot more
what
recently, especially as we're getting old. I know, and that's been like I think the hardest because of course like every person has their preference of like who they think is the most attractive, but it's like everyone has their type.
Well, but
it's hard because like sometimes we'll start like comparing each other, like, oh, did I look ugly in that video? Like, is she prettier than me because she's skinnier, or because she has a butt, or she doesn't?
Oh my God.
And I think that and I think that's been something like I'm the first to say like I still get really upset about it. Like I still cry, it still hurts me, but I thankfully have my family and my friends that tell me like don't listen to it. It's not true, but it is a daily thing you need to remind yourself. I think it's when it comes to confidence and anything to self-build, you have to repeat it every single day and remind yourself. It's almost like you need to not trick your mind, but train your mind to see yourself as, you know what, I don't give a shit what they say. I love me. I look great. And they're just some sad person behind a screen wanting to make someone else feel bad.
So sad. It says way more about them than it does of anyone else and how insecure they are.
Totally.
And I know you guys have probably experienced this. I've experienced being compared to my mom. I don't know if you guys know this, but my mom had her own TV show for 26 years on ESPN and Lifetime. Obviously, nowhere near the level of your dad's fame. But at the same time, people are always like, she's just where she is because of who her mom is.
Oh my God.
And I'm doing the exact same career as my mom, so it gets really tough because I get all her fans who are like 50-year-old women who you think they'd be so kind to someone like me who's a lot younger than them, but they're so mean to me because they constantly compare me. And I'm like, do you guys just sometimes, like, you understand how blessed you are to be the daughter of someone like that, but it's a little bit of a curse sometimes because you want to just be so successful in your own right.
Sophia and I were literally saying this on the way here.
I literally said this in the car today. And it was so funny because I was thinking about this today and I was like, you know, Sistine, we're really ambitious and so are you. We really want to do the best we can and we want to work as hard as we can. We put in the time for our podcast just like you and doing the content that we do. But it's almost like a double-edged sword, which is if we don't do anything, we're lazy and we're spoiled. Or if we do something, it's nepotism and we don't work hard for it. And I'm not saying that the opportunities that we've been given, it hasn't opened doors. And I'm absolutely not saying that. And I totally understand my privilege there. But it is sometimes hard when it's constantly being like, you really don't do anything and you don't deserve anything that you're doing. And it's just
hard.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part. It's like
we work so hard.
Yeah, we work hard. And it's like, yes, we may have some advantages and we are fully using that to our advantage and we're never not blessed about it. We make sure we're nice to everybody in the room. We're on time. We are like working as hard as we can. Like I think that's what we can do. If like with the privilege and the position that we're in, we can only do what we can, which is be the best selves we can be.
Absolutely. And I think first things first is recognizing our privilege, which is huge. But I love the quote of someone like to, you know, understanding like where we come from is like, we might have doors open because of, you know, who, like where we grew up, but at the same time, no one's gonna walk us through that door. No one's you have to still fucking walk yourself through that door and do that hard work to get through the door. The door might be open. That doesn't mean we're gonna get through it.
I know. We always say that people open the door for us, but they're not keeping it open. We got to keep it open. We got to have our foot right in the doorway so that it doesn't fully close. I think in some ways some people don't want us to do better or do well because it's like...
It's kind of funny though because just because your parents had success in their careers, are the kids not allowed to? It's like...
So odd.
I don't. It's very odd, and I totally agree because at one point I was trying to act, and that was a total mistake, because following in something that my dad was wildly successful at, it was almost like people, even if I thought I did a good job, people would still say, you're only getting this because of this reason, you're trash, you're this and that, you'll never be like him. Like, obviously, but I'm not him. So at what point are we allowed to have the opportunity to be our own individual, separate from our parents, and not being known for their legacy, but to create our own? So it's, I think it's something that my mom always says, you just got to keep doing you and working hard, and you know, you'll make your own path.
But it's so funny because people always, like, my mom was a fitness, like, icon back in the day. So, and now I do fitness. So people are like, you're only doing that because your mom. But, like, wait, no.
I like it too.
I like it too. And you don't understand. I grew up around it since I was 0.
Exactly.
So, of course, I like it. It's what I know. So,
like, that's the thing. I don't think people will realize, like, what your parents do, you're around all the time. So a lot of the time, sometimes the kids end up going into what their parents do. Right?
Yeah.
So we were around entertainment. Like, you, like with your mom doing fitness, it was still an entertainment form. So you're like, okay, I want to do a podcast. I want to do social media. And that's for us. Like, we want to be on TV. We want to speak. We love doing these interviews.
It's like we're part of an entertainment family. If we're going to stay in the entertainment world, it just makes sense for us. But I guess it's a matter of whether they'll let us in.
Someone giving a guy shit for following in his dad's finance footsteps. Like, come on, dude. You don't ever hear that.
No, exactly. And it's like, we know what we know, and I think we're all pretty good at it, and so why not try it? And it's like, okay, by the way, my mom never tells us, like, we had to do it. Like, and our family's never said, like, you had to go into fitness, you have to be on TV. No, we chose this. My mom's like, actually, this is going to be a lot harder if you do choose this, because you're going to have a lot more pushback because people are going to compare you all the time. And so we're like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not going to be a marine biologist. I don't know anything about that. I wasn't raised around it. So I'm going to go into what I know. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're just going to do us. And I mean, it's just, I feel like that's
turn
all.
off the comment section.
Yeah, turn off the comment section.
Absolutely. I mean, that just kind of sums up that comments of hate right there.
Oh my God.
I want to get into one of our last segments here. It's called Mood Boosting Mantra. In Mood Boosting Mantra, you say something like an affirmation that rings true to you, yourself, something that you either tell yourself like every day or even could be this week. So do you each individually have a mantra that really rings true to you?
For me, I think mood boosting anything is when I look at myself in the mirror and I go, you are good enough, you are beautiful, you're hardworking, success, happiness, and romance will flow freely to you. All roadblocks will go away. And that was something that I did hear on TikTok. Like, half of it was on TikTok and half of it wasn't. But I actually do say mantras to myself every single day, especially ones that I can remember. I know that I don't chase, I attract. But I think when it comes to having confidence and going into work situations or romantic situations, just telling yourself that it will be successful. You are beautiful, you are hardworking, and it's going to work out seamlessly. And
I love that.
That's something that I
love that a lot.
Yeah.
That was
really awesome.
Really well said.
Really profound.
Oh,
my
thank
God.
you.
I don't have one mantra I go by, but something that I do a lot is I talk to myself in the mirror a lot.
Love that.
Thank God no one's walked in yet, because it just looks insane. That a lot of the time I'm looking at my body in the mirror and I'm just completely picking it apart, like, why isn't my waist smaller to my hip bone? I'm like, the way my body's built, like, that doesn't really make sense for it. No, right. And it's like, and still I look at it like it's not enough or I'm not good enough. So I'm always looking in the mirror being like, this is actually beautiful. Stay with it. And if a guy doesn't like it, that's his problem. You need to learn to like it, because I think I always found, validation through other people. And another thing I do is if I'm going into like a really important business meeting or something that requires me to act less scared and more professional, I will look in the mirror and say, like, you are a boss woman. You fucking got this.
Yeah.
You walk in there, you own it, you own the room. And I swear to God, it just gives you this like boost of energy. And I always do that.
I love that. You know what my dad always said? Like, weirdly, and this came from my dad. When I was playing lacrosse when I was little, and I was like, this was like 10th grade, 9th grade, I was kind of like insecure on the field and I wanted to be better. He was like, you're gonna walk out on the lacrosse field and say to yourself, you're Katie fucking Austin.
Yeah,
you're
baby.
Katie fucking Austin, and repeat
Yep.
it. And my sister always said, I'm Kelly fucking Austin. And it was like this whole thing. And we were in high school, by the way, playing lacrosse. And I was like, I love that, Dad.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Honestly, if you say that in the mirror 12 times, I guarantee you're going to walk into any room.
Any room.
Like, I'm here.
I agree. You gotta hype yourself up. You are your
yeah.
best friend. Give her
Hell
some
yeah.
love.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of that, talk to yourself like you would your best friend.
Yes.
Imagine you sitting there in the mirror saying, and your best friend was like saying something like, you know what, I'm not good enough. What would you say to her?
Yeah,
So say
exactly.
exactly what you say to her to yourself. So I love that. I
That's
think it's a great
point.
place to end right there. Well, thank you guys so much. And make sure to listen to Unwaxed Podcast. Where can they find y'all?
Unwaxed Podcast on Instagram, Sistine Stallone on Instagram.
Sophia Stallone on Instagram. We also have YouTube. We have TikTok. All on Wax Podcast. Pretty simple.
Yeah, go check
Hell
it
yeah.
out.
And welcome to the Malka family, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
coming on,
us.
guys.